One thing I learned is when I officially weighed in, I didn't know that, and I was fasted the entire competition, which was another great thing. And then also my gas tank was not very good after about three-quarters of the way through my second match. I was dead. What are some things that someone can do? Obviously, strength for conditioning, jiu-jitsu is going to be number one. Do more jiu-jitsu if you want to build your conditioning for jiu-jitsu, right? Would be like number two that someone can do. I always hear don't do long runs, right? Long runs don't necessarily translate over directly to jiu-jitsu. And I hear like don't do sprints or whatever doing jiu-jitsu. But what would you say is some other great ways to build your conditioning for jiu-jitsu?
Um, so there's a few things. The first is building a higher strength ceiling means you have to use less energy to do the same thing, right? Like if it takes me 100% of my effort to move 100 pounds of something, if I train and get strong, then moving that 100 pounds doesn't take 100% of my effort anymore. Maybe it takes 75% or 50%.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. Get strong is your first line of defense. Second, from a conditioning standpoint, I've been experimenting with what are called lactic power intervals, and I learned about this through Joel Jameson, who's a big. He works with a lot of UFC fighters. He's been in the grappling game for a long time from a strength and conditioning standpoint. And so what I've been doing is I'll hop on the Airdyne bike and I sprint for 20 seconds as fast as I can. And then I rest for 90. And then I sprint for 20 seconds, rest for 90, sprint for 20 seconds one more time. And then I'll rest for like 8 minutes, right? Because typically between your matches, you'll probably have 8 to 10 minutes, give or take. There's probably be at least one more match in between your next one, sometimes two. And then I do go through that protocol one more time. And then you can progress that, as that gets easy, you can go 22 seconds, right? And then rest for maybe, 100 seconds instead of 90. So there's ways to progress that. But that's been something that I've experimented with and I feel really, really good. It's 20 on, 90 off 3 times, rest for 8 minutes, repeat once. And then, so that has helped. It's helped my anaerobic base, helped my aerobic base. It's helped me not gas out so quickly. And then the third thing is match economy, is just getting better at jiu-jitsu means you have to spend less energy to do the thing, right? Because you will have seen all the reactions and you've seen, you've seen everything everybody's going to throw at you. And so you don't have to work quite as hard to maintain the position. Or if you're a step ahead of somebody, if you've got if you know the sequence quicker than the other person does, then maybe, you get a step ahead and you get 2 steps ahead. Next thing you know, you can kind of hold a position and rest and put yourself, you put yourself in a better position to not gas out when the time comes.